Welcome to the Ranger News.
Today is June 18th, 2021.
I'm AJ Husser.
And I'm Sam Lane.
Today and tomorrow, across New York State and the country, we celebrate Juneteenth and the official end of slavery in America 158 years ago. Please watch the following video to learn more about this important day in history.
Good evening, America. Tonight is a first for ABC News. In our 75-year history, we have never produced a primetime special about Juneteenth, which of course commemorates the end of slavery in the United States.
We also celebrate that for the first time in history, ABC News has assembled this team and opened up this avenue for all of us to honor the stories and legacies of our ancestors, whose life experiences became part of the heartbeat that gave birth to this moment.
Now more than 155 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and more than 400 years after Africans were brought against their will to our shores and enslaved, America's promise of equality for all is under intense scrutiny.
From police stations to corporate headquarters to newsrooms like our own, Americans are in the midst of a nationwide reckoning on matters of race. Individually and collectively, we have a story to tell, born out of a history of pain and triumph, a history that has all too often been dismissed or denied, even in textbooks, and all too often leaving America to repeat tragic mistakes.
So here we are in this studio, all of us, the five of us, descendants of the enslaved. They're the original authors of the story of Black life, Black culture, Black overcoming. They could probably never imagine that the five of us would be standing here, serving tonight proudly as their storytellers.
It is Juneteenth, and here we are standing in this moment on some strong shoulders, face to the sun and feet to the fire. It has been a long time coming, America. And now our colleague from The View, moderator Whoopi Goldberg, with the meaning of Juneteenth.
President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. It freed slaves from bondage in Confederate states, but only where it could be enforced. This meant that nearly 250,000 enslaved people in Texas didn't experience freedom until June 19th, 1865. It's the day we now recognize as Juneteenth, the oldest known African-American celebration of emancipation in the United States. During the Civil War, slave owners began to move their slaves to Texas, where the U.S. Army was barely present, making the Emancipation Proclamation harder to enforce. Historians believe slave owners also withheld news of the proclamation from slaves to get one last harvest. More than 2 months after Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered in April 1865, U.S. General Gordon Granger landed in Galveston, Texas, with nearly 2,000 Union troops. On June 19th, he read the now famous General Orders No. 3 from the balcony of a mansion called Ashton Villa. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free, Granger announced. The order asked that freed slaves stay put and continue to work for wages. The next year, after slavery was formally abolished when the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified, freed men, women, and children celebrated the first Juneteenth, a combination of the words June and 19th. The celebration was marked by community gatherings complete with prayer, food, song, and dance. In 1980, Texas was the first state to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday, and today, 47 states and the District of Columbia observe Juneteenth, not only to celebrate the end of slavery, but to also remember those who died to secure that freedom.
June is Pride Month, a month dedicated to uplifting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer voices, celebrating LGBTQ culture and supporting LGBTQ rights. Pride Month is celebrated in June to mark the beginning of the first gay rights movement, called the Stonewall Uprising, which occurred in June of 1969.
Pride Month is a time to recognize the contributions of the LGBTQ community and stand in solidarity with the LGBTQ community to fight against discrimination and injustice. The Pride symbol is the rainbow flag. If you would like to show your support of our LGBTQ community, wear rainbow clothing or stop by room 401 to receive a rainbow pin.
Attention all students. If you purchased the yearbook and have not yet picked it up, please stop by the library during any free time this week.
Mindful moment time. This week's mindful moment is calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom.
Wow. For lunch today, try pizza or pulled pork sandwich. Lunch is free for everyone.
Now, over to Jedediah with your Ranger weather.
Jeremy is the sun, it is the east. What light through yonder window breaks? Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the Ranger weather. Got that right this time. Just reading some Shakespeare, because it's a little rainy out today, but it's 80 degrees, so when it stops raining, you can go do some fun. But yeah, guess I'm gonna get back to my book here. Deuces!
Thanks, Jake.
12 faculty and staff, please submit any future announcements to rangernews@students.spencerportschools.org.
That's all for today, Rangers. Make sure to follow your 3 Ranger W's.
Wash your hands
Wear your mask above your nose.
and watch your distance.
And remember to keep 6 feet apart.